This is F1 Petrolhead, and this is my new series called F1 2012 Top 5 Challenge. And this is the series where I try to finish every race in the top 5. And I was going to do it on Legend, but I just found it too hard, so I decided to go down to Professional, and Legend would just be too boring for you guys. And I decided to go with Force India. So Q2, that was big name knockout, Kimi Räikkönen and possibly Felipe Massa. But now showing you my fastest lap, and we actually got into Q3 for the first race of the season, and so yeah, and the setup I feel was pretty good. I felt really happy in the car, and just tweaking my engine. For some reason I'm on the engine 2, but put my fuel mix down to lean and the lowest amount of fuel. Now switching up to rich mix as we go across the line to start our final lap, and coming down here, braking at the 100 meter board and taking the curb and going as fast as possible and opening DRS very early again. And so now we've hit 7th gear, braking quite early I thought there, but nevertheless it was a pretty good lap, and I feel that I made possibly a bit of a mistake in this lap. Through the first sector I thought, okay, I did that wasn't really where I could have done it, but nevertheless it was still a pretty quick lap. And now I'm in 7th gear again and braking about there, taking the curb, getting on throttle much earlier as I was in my career mode series, as I am much more confident now about the track without the racing line, and 53.9151 through that sector and open DRS just as we're going over the curb. And now sector 3, this is where I really feel I lose a lot of time, but braking and taking that corner very well. And so we do take these corners very well, but probably not as quick as the AI can. But now braking here for the final corner, we just have a tiny little lock up, and then coming around here for the final corner using KERS and DRS sort of through there, and at the end our time is a 1:29.241, and so we qualified 7th with our teammate Paul di Resta alongside us in 8th. So Fernando Alonso on pole, and 7th we achieved our objective of finishing 12th or above in qualifying, and the race should be pretty interesting. And so obviously we're going to be aiming for the top 5, but our objective might not be that, and our objective is to finish in 5th, and that's where we want to finish or above, because it's called Top 5 Challenge for a reason. So normal fuel strategy, and we've out-qualified our teammate, and pitting at probably lap 6, and now we're going to the track for the prime tyres. And so these tyres will be a little bit warm, because we got into Q3 and we used these tyres, so tyre wear could be a factor in this Grand Prix, but I'll have to wait and see. And I think the first lap is where we will need to be very aggressive. So there's Fernando Alonso on pole, Lewis Hamilton is in 2nd, and Mark Webber is in 3rd. There's me in 7th, and my teammate Paul di Resta in 8th. So we have Nico Rosberg right on our right, and Jenson Button in front of us. And so now we have 5 red lights, and we're away in Melbourne, and using KERS straight up to the rich mix. We get past Rosberg pretty easily, and then Button. Then coming up to the first corner, braking and just keeping out of contact, and we get up into P4. Now we're into P3, so maybe punching above Force India's weight, but it's not going to be boring. Now we're up in 2nd as Webber's fighting back, and he is in second now, but we're still coming back at him, and we get up into second. So Fernando Alonso is just going to go off into the distance, and pretty much now we're just defending as Jenson Button is going for a pass, and he does get past us there, but we come back at him and we lock up, and so that was a little bit... I mean, what the hell was he doing there, really? I mean, he braked very early, in my opinion, but we needed to lock up, which we locked up, but if we did get it on, and then we lock up again, and we're not going to keep second. Oh, yes, we are, actually. So do keep second. Now cutting to lap 6, and Button is still right on our tail, and I think that Alonso has pretty much got this race in the bag, and now braking here and coming around the second to last corner. Now we're actually coming into the pits for our pit stop, and our tyres actually look, well, relatively bad. And now we're now we're dropping down, obviously, and so Button did follow us in. Some other people have followed us in our pit stop, and that's a relatively quick stop by the guys, but why aren't we being... No, we've been held up in traffic. And so Button's past Schumacher. Raikkonen. We come out behind Raikkonen, and he wasn't even in the top 5. So how are we going to finish in the top 5 for the top 5 challenge now? I mean, that's just not relatively good, but we still remain optimistic, and now we get past Raikkonen, and I'm thinking we can have a go at Schumacher, but I don't think we're not close enough here, and we don't have DRS. Now lap 7, to the end of the lap 7, we can see we're much closer to Schumacher, so we're going to have DRS. There's the detection line, and here's the activation line, so we open it as early as possible. And now coming down here, we are making up some places because of pits, and there we pass the Red Bull. I think it might be Webber or Vettel, and Perez holds up Schumacher, so we get past him, and we get past Perez, and then there's Button and the rest in third, and we get past them all, lock up, and then we stay ahead of the rest, not ahead of Button. So yeah, now lap 13, and Webber's behind us, and we're trying to defend P4, and we do defend it there. Then coming around here, and Webber's going to have DRS again, and he's going to have another go at us, but he isn't going to get it here. And then braking early, like we did with Perez when Perez was behind us, but he goes clean around the outside. So relatively not that good there. But now going down to lap 15, and we finish 5th. So we have achieved our objective of 5th or above, and we have achieved the top 5 challenge in the first race. So we are going to be 5th in the World Championship, and Force India both in the points, with me in 5th and Di Resta in 7th. And Alonso got the race win, Vettel 2nd, and Button 3rd. And the DNF was Lewis Hamilton for McLaren Mercedes. So it's looking like it's going to be an interesting year, as now we go on to the championship standings of the drivers in a second. So, and the drivers' championship isn't coming up, and here it is, exactly the same as it is now. And so is the constructors, and Force India we are in 3rd, 9 points behind Ferrari. Anyway, you can follow me on Twitter at F1HeadPetrol, and please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new to my channel for weekly F1 content. This has been F1 Petrolhead, and I will see you next time on the grid in Malaysia. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.